She looked me dead in the eye and said, "I cheated. I needed a real man." My friends, they laughed. They actually laughed. But I just smiled, grabbed my keys and walked out. This morning my phone exploded with 32 missed calls. They weren't laughing anymore. It was a Friday night at Murphy's Bar, our usual spot. Low lights, cheap drinks, the kind of place where birthdays and breakups blur into background noise. Emma wore my hoodie, the gray one she always borrowed when she wanted to look cute. She did look cute. Beautiful even. I had no idea this would be the last time I'd ever see her as mine. 6 of our friends sat around that sticky wooden table, half drunk and mid-conversation about someone's new job. Then Emma cleared her throat. Too loud. Too deliberate. "So," she said, cutting through the laughter, "I guess this is as good a time as any." The room went silent. I looked at her, waiting. My stomach already knew what my brain refused to accept. She turned to me with this smirk, cold, calculated, cruel. "I cheated." The words didn't sting. They just landed. Like a diagnosis you've been expecting but hoped would never come. "And honestly," she continued, her voice getting stronger, more confident, "I needed a real man. Not someone who works tech support and spends weekends fixing a car that still doesn't run." The laughter started immediately. Not awkward laughter. Genuine, full-throated amusement. My friends, the people I'd known for years, were entertained by my humiliation. Ben, who I'd considered a brother, actually clinked glasses with her. "Damn girl, you're savage. But honest. I respect it." Maya, who'd cried on my shoulder after her last breakup, muttered, "We all saw this coming." Even Chris, who'd crashed on my couch for 3 months when he was broke, just gave me that look. You know the one. The look that says, "Take the L and leave." I felt something die inside me. Not just love, trust. The belief that the people closest to you won't turn into spectators when your world collapses. But I didn't yell. Didn't throw my drink. Didn't give them the scene they wanted. I just looked at Emma. Really looked at her. And for the first time I saw past the beauty, past the charm, past 3 years of shared memories. I saw the emptiness behind that smirk. The desperate need for validation. The hollow victory of someone who'd just burned down the best thing in her life for applause. I smiled. Tossed my keys up and caught them. "Cool," I said. Then I turned and walked out. Their laughter followed me through the door, but something else followed me too, clarity. Crystal clear, razor-sharp understanding. I wasn't going to fight for someone who'd made mocking me a public performance. I wasn't going to beg people who'd chosen sides before I even knew there was a war. I was going to disappear. And when I came back they wouldn't recognize me. Emma and I had 3 beautiful years. We met at a coffee shop near campus. She was reading The Bell Jar, wearing chipped black nail polish and this silver ring on her thumb. When I asked about the book, she looked up and said, "Only depressed people read this in public." Then she smiled. We fell fast and deep. Late night drives with no destination. Inside jokes that made us laugh until our stomachs hurt. She used to fall asleep with her head on my chest like it was the safest place in the world. "You're my peace," she'd whisper in the dark. I believed her. The good days were golden. She'd bring me lunch when I worked late. Call me her anchor when anxiety tried to pull her under. When I was fixing up that rusted '92 Civic in the garage, she'd sit with me for hours, passing tools, playing music, just being present. We weren't rich. Weren't flashy. But we were solid. Or so I thought. The change crept in slowly like carbon monoxide. Girls' nights became "don't wait up" texts. She stopped coming to the garage. Started rolling her eyes when I talked about building my own IT consulting business. "You're always chasing things that take too long," she said once. I didn't fight her on it. I thought she was stressed, burned out from work. I gave her space, thinking love meant understanding. But she wasn't pulling away from stress. She was pulling toward someone else. Caleb, a bartender with abs and the personality of wet cardboard. Someone faster, flashier, emptier. The friends followed her lead. Ben started texting her more than me. Chris didn't want to take sides. Maya, who'd once called me the most loyal person she knew, just vanished. I didn't lose a girlfriend that night. I lost an entire world. And yet, walking to my car in that parking lot, something clicked into place. Not rage. Not depression. Clarity. They didn't betray me because I was weak. They betrayed me because I was quiet. And they thought quiet meant I wouldn't respond. They were catastrophically wrong. The first night after the breakup I didn't sleep. I lay in bed staring at the ceiling, replaying every second. Her smirk. Ben's laugh. The way they looked at me like I was the punchline to a joke I hadn't heard yet. The next morning I checked my phone. No apologies. No missed calls. Just one group text from Chris. Hey man, hope there's no hard feelings. Let's all try to be mature about this, right? Like laughing while my girlfriend nuked our relationship was mature. I did something I'd never done before. I went completely silent. Deactivated social media. Blocked their numbers. Deleted photos. Wiped Emma's contact. But kept the memory. Because pain is the best teacher and I was about to get a PhD in becoming undeniable. I looked in the mirror that morning. Not for pity, for inventory. If they all saw someone disposable, I needed to build someone unforgettable. I started small. Reached out to an old professor who'd once said I had CO energy. Enrolled in cybersecurity courses. Started waking up at 5 a.m. to run, even when my body begged for mercy. While they posted Instagram stories about living their best life, I lived mine in silence. 12-hour workdays. Freelance consulting. Building networks for local businesses. I said yes to everything, turned down nothing because every yes was another brick in the wall I was building between who I was and who I was becoming. The weight started dropping. 18 pounds in 2 months. Not from heartbreak, from discipline. I cut carbs, lifted heavy, ran 6 days a week. Got a real haircut. Started dressing like I respected myself. The work exploded. One freelance gig led to a contract. The contract led to a referral. The referral led to a retainer. Before I knew it, I was making more in a month than I used to make in 6. I registered an LLC. Built a clean, professional website. Started getting DMs from businesses that used to ignore my applications. All without posting once. All without telling anyone. Because the most satisfying growth is the kind no one sees until it's already done. I wasn't posting, but other people were. Client launches. Networking events. Charity runs. I started appearing in tagged photos looking like someone I'd never been before. Some of Emma's friends still followed those people. And suddenly my phone started buzzing again. Maya, hey stranger. You look good. Hope you're doing okay. Ben, heard you started your own thing. That's wild. Respect. Chris, dude, your name came up in a client meeting. You killing it. I ignored every single message. Because the version of me they knew was dead. They'd killed him that night at the bar. I'd just buried him properly. Then came the first crack in their perfect little world. Emma stopped posting. The constant stream of selfies with Caleb dried up. 2 months of silence. Then a blurry Instagram story from a mutual friend's birthday party. Emma in the background, alone, looking older. Tired. No Caleb. No captions about leveling up. Just a girl sitting in the corner of a party that used to revolve around her. I didn't smile. Didn't feel vindicated. I felt nothing. Because when someone publicly destroys you and you rebuild in private, there comes a moment when even their name loses weight. It happened on a gray Sunday morning. I was reviewing a pitch deck when my phone started lighting up like a Christmas tree. One call, then another, then 32 missed calls in 2 hours. Emma. Ben. Maya. Even Chris. They all came flooding back like smoke from a house fire no one wanted to admit was burning. The texts started pouring in. Emma, I know I'm the last person you want to hear from, but please, can we talk? Emma, everything fell apart. I just need 5 minutes. Please. Emma, I messed up. You didn't deserve that. I see that now. Then Ben, yo man, I was wrong. Real talk. We all were. She told us stuff about you not treating her right. I didn't know the truth. Right. They never know the truth until they're not invited to the lie anymore. Maya, I was a coward. You were always the real one. We picked sides and now she's crying on my couch every night. The irony was beautiful. They'd spent months treating my silence like weakness. Now it was driving them insane. The last text came at midnight. From Emma. I thought I wanted someone exciting. What I got was someone fake. Caleb left. He cheated on me. He's broke. I'm broke. I miss you. God, I miss you so much. You didn't deserve what I did. I see that now. You were the best thing in my life and I threw it away for applause from people who don't even call me anymore. Please just respond. Please. I sat with that message for a long time. Watched the typing bubble appear and disappear as she crafted and deleted a dozen more messages. Then I locked my phone, set it face down and went to sleep. Because by the time people realize what you were worth, you're too busy becoming someone they'll never deserve to meet. I woke up to another wall of texts. You probably hate me. I understand if you never want to see me again, but please just say something. I miss who we were. I miss who I was with you. That last line hit differently. Not the begging. Not the regret. I miss who I was with you. Because that's what she really lost, wasn't it? She didn't just lose me. She lost the version of herself that existed when someone believed in her completely. When someone saw her at 3 a.m. with mascara running and still thought she was beautiful. When someone loved her enough to fix her car, bring her soup when she was sick, listen to her dreams without judgment. She lost the woman she was when she was genuinely loved. And that version of herself was never coming back. I typed slowly. No anger. No theatrics. Just truth. You didn't just choose someone else. You celebrated humiliating me. You made it a performance. And when I left, I didn't just walk away from our relationship. I walked away from the person who thought I wasn't enough. I'm not angry. I'm not bitter. I'm just done. Take care of yourself. Then I blocked her number. I didn't wait for a reply because the best revenge isn't about breaking people. It's about becoming so unshakably whole that they can't even picture themselves in your life anymore. 3 months later, I got a contract worth more than I used to make in 2 years. 6 months later, I was dating Sarah, a brilliant architect who saw my ambition as attractive, not annoying. A year later, I bought the house Emma and I used to drive past, the one she said we'd never afford. I never spoke to any of them again. Not out of spite, but out of growth. Because sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is simply outgrow the people who couldn't see your worth. Emma texted from different numbers a few times. Ben tried to reach out through LinkedIn. Maya showed up at my office once. I had my assistant tell her I was in meetings all day. Because here's what I learned. When people show you who they are in your darkest moment, believe them the first time. And when you rebuild yourself from nothing, you get to choose who deserves access to the new version. They chose to laugh when I was down. I chose to never let them see me rise. Was this revenge? Maybe. Was it justice? Definitely. Was it the best thing that ever happened to me? Absolutely. Because sometimes what feels like the end is actually the beginning. Sometimes the people who break you are doing you the biggest favor of your life. They're showing you exactly what you won't tolerate anymore. Emma taught me that love without respect is just attachment. My friends taught me that loyalty isn't guaranteed just because you've known someone for years. And my silence taught me that the most powerful response to public humiliation is private transformation. The last I heard, Emma was still single. Still posting quotes about knowing your worth, while dating men who don't. Ben's still bartending, still talking about the business he's about to start. Maya's still choosing sides in other people's relationships instead of building her own life. Me. I sleep peacefully every night. Because the best revenge isn't destroying your enemies. It's becoming so successful they become irrelevant. If this story moved you, if it made you think about the power of silence, the beauty of transformation, or the importance of choosing people who choose you back, don't just scroll past. Hit that like button. Subscribe for more stories about turning pain into power. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Because everyone deserves to know that sometimes walking away is the most powerful thing you can do. And sometimes the people who think they've won have actually handed you the keys to a life they'll never be able to touch. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever had to walk away from people you thought would always have your back? How did you rebuild? We read every single comment. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. And remember, your silence is often more powerful than your words. Use it wisely.